Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Owechomachi. Would like to start today's session. All right. I can see that you have some people have done the test, and I'm seeing 80%. I'm seeing 50%. People scoring that high. I don't think they need this class. That means they are good enough. But for anyone scoring 10, 20, let me check the dashboard once more. If I get those kind of scores, I will. I think I can proceed. But if the scores are just too high, okay, I have someone. Yeah, I can see someone I want now. Great, 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 great. All right, okay. So we'll just continue and see, for the sake of those that are not familiar with this terrain. You see, this terrain, some of you might be familiar with this terrain. Those of you coming from the business world, admin world, are used to all this, but some of us coming from engineering, pure agriculture, know that some of us will not necessarily be familiar with this terrain or what we'll be discussing. So I'll take my time for the sake of these individuals, to see what we can discuss here today. So today is module 2, right? And we're supposed to have taken this module yesterday, and somehow we had to swap it. So I'm taking it today because I was a little busy yesterday. So now I'm here to discuss, and you have all my time to ask me any question with regards to what we intend to discuss today. So what's the main topic for today? The topic for today, or the section, the module 2, is divided into 2 sections. We have a feasibility study and a business plan. So section 1 is feasibility study, section 2 is business plan. What are we discussing under feasibility study and business plan? I'll need you to know what feasibility study is all about. I also need you to know what business plan is all about. And thereafter, we'll look at some topics under each of these sessions. What's the purpose of looking at this topic? Is for us to have a good grip of it. And one of my main objectives that I think is something I can achieve from this particular discussion is to get you to go back to do your feasibility study again if you find any issue with it. Or when you're done with your business plan, we want to know whether your business plan is in line with most common business plans that will come around. Okay, so I will go to the first slide here, which is right. The first one is section 1, and that's feasibility study. So I have about 4 items in the feasibility study. I have about 4 items under my feasibility study. Let me see. Yeah, 4 items. What are these? Okay. All right. So the 4 items. Oh, I have something here before we proceed with the 4 items. What's the feasibility study? Do you all know what a feasibility study is? If you know what feasibility study is, can you write it in the chat for all of us to see? Don't write this academic definition for us, because that won't help us here. What the definition we're looking for here is, we will prefer you to write what you understand, not necessarily something for academicians. So if you can write that for us, fine. And then if you can differentiate between feasibility study from a business plan, you can write it also. You put number 2 and write that. Then for number 3, what's the reason why we should do a feasibility study? And then those of you that don't even have any single idea at all, go to the chat and write number 1, no idea, number 2, no idea, number 3, no idea. And if I get that from you, I'm going to spotlight you at the end of the day. I'm going to ask you if you have an idea now. So when I'm done with this section, I'll go to you and chat you privately. Do you have an idea for 1 now? Do you have an idea for 2 now? Is that fine? All right. I know I can't hear you because everyone is muted. We're muted because of background noises. Okay, so let me check the chat if I've gotten response. I know sometimes responses will be slow. So I'll just check the chat now if there are responses. If there are no responses, then we'll proceed with the topics for the first session, feasibility study. Yeah, I'm at the chat. I can't see anyone here. Nobody's talking to me on the chat. I can't see anyone talking to me on the chat. Okay, in the first place, do you hear me loud and clear? If you hear me loud and clear and you want me to continue the discussion, just type I hear loud, or you write something, continue, so that I know that I'm not just talking. You know, since you are muted, I wouldn't even know if a couple of you are participating. And a host of other people put up their screen, so I can't even see their faces. I don't even know whether they are actually participating, or you know, Zoom has a limitation where some people can put on the Zoom, turn off their camera, go and watch movie, go and cook, do some other things. Yeah, I can still continue to talk, provided. All right. I've gotten a response here. I should send what public. Okay. All right. The chat I'm talking about, I need you to chat on the Zoom. If you chat on the WhatsApp platform, I'm not going to see that fast. I need you to chat. All right. Yes. Someone say, I hear you. Okay. Let me see those that have responded via chat. Okay. Somebody said I should continue. Two people said I should continue. And that was done on the WhatsApp. That's why I wasn't seeing it. Actually, I was asking you to speak to me via the Zoom chat. It's all fine. Now I have your go ahead to continue to speak. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all of you welcoming me to today. All right, so I want to know, are you answering this? Maybe most of you won't be answering this. Let's just proceed with what we have for today. I want to see how fast we can go home. All right, what are the outlines that we have for today under this section of feasibility study? First, what is feasibility study? Let's get that out of the way. We just need to know what feasibility study is. And then I want us to know what a feasible business is. I don't know if you get my drive. What I'm discussing here is that, yeah, I want to know that this is a feasibility study. We want to know if you have achieved a feasible business, meaning that this business can continue. We want to know the main criteria. And number two, what are the objectives of feasibility study? Why is it important? What are the common shortcomings that we have noticed with feasibility study? That's what we intend to do on topic two. And then topic three, I just have a short advice for you there. How do you go about your feasibility study? I'm going to just highlight a few things there. Then four, what are the components of a feasibility study? Meaning, what are the minimum item I should find on your feasibility study? So, so that when you are done with your feasibility study, we should be able to say, okay, this guy, this feasibility study report meets the minimum requirement, right? Another thing, wow, somebody's talking to me. Let me see what person say. Oh, great. Yes, 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 yes. You say I should continue, but I can't see your name, Galazi. Exit. You said I should continue. Thank you. All right. um, you know, I could go ahead and look at a piece of land. I could go somewhere, look at a piece of land with the mind that at the back of my mind that I want to build a house for myself where I will live. I could do that. I could come to a place, check the street, check what is the neighborhood like, what's the topography of the land and all that. I could do all of that. When I'm doing that, it can be said or be similar to what we refer to as feasibility study. But when I want to put up my plan there, I'll see an architect and I'll tell him, design a plan for me. He'll put up a plan for me. I'll go to a surveyor, they'll give me the bill of quantity and all of that, or bill of engineering for my building. All those things that I'm getting is actually what we refer to as your business plan. It's similar to your business plan. So with that out of the way now, you know that when I'm surveying the land, is a feasibility study whether I can put my house there or not. Would I want to put my house in a slumpy area? Would I want to put my house where water is percolating? Or would I want to put my house in completely rocky ground where you could hardly put up any foundation? No. So I will eliminate that part of the land immediately I notice those anomalies. And that's what my feasibility study does for me, essentially. Whereas my business plan, will actually be the direction of how I intend to go about my business. All right, so I think I've differentiated what a feasibility study is from a business plan. So let's go into what we have for today right away. Feasibility study. Yes, I asked someone to help me with what a feasibility study is. I didn't get any response in the chat, and I said I don't want all this academic one. You know, the academic one is very simple. All you need to do to get an academic definition of feasibility study is simply to go to Google, just say what is feasibility study, and then you copy it and paste on the chat for me. No, that's not what I want. That won't solve my problem. My intention here is, what have you had at the back of your mind that you think feasibility study is? So that when we compare it to whatever we have here and see whether we are dancing the same drum. Okay. Now I said feasibility study is an analysis of the viability of an idea. Check the three words there. You're doing an analysis. You are doing a viability of what? Of the viability of what? An idea, a business idea in this case. It could be any other idea anyway, but our emphasis is business idea. So we're checking for, we're analyzing the viability of an idea. That's essentially what feasibility study is, period. Don't need to go into other things to try and find out what feasibility study is. Okay, quickly look at the last paragraph here. Yeah, we said feasibility study looks at the viability of an idea with an emphasis on identifying potential problems and attempt to answer one main question. Once you're done with this question, you are through. So as you're doing your feasibility study, your emphasis, your interest, your idea is to check whether you can answer this main question. And what's the question? Will the idea work? Should we proceed with it? That's it. Feasibility study. That's all. Okay, let me bring up an example now. Let me even see. If I'm considering designing and manufacturing for the purpose of selling a machine that can feed people, you put the machine on your desk, right? And then you sit in front of your desk, it feeds you. That's some level of luxury, you know. I'm a businessman, so my interest is how to get this thing sold to people, right? I need to do what? A feasibility study on it. What's a feasibility study? We say we'll do an analysis whether this idea that I just discussed is viable. So what's the first thing we're going to do? What's the first analysis we're going to do? Let's do the analysis together and see. Do you think that people want to use their hands to eat, or they want to use the machine to eat? So go to the chat and type for me. Type what you like to use. What do you like to eat with? Would you want to use my machine? You sit at the dining and then it feeds you and you eat, or you like to use your cutlery that you used to, or your hands? Let me see your reaction. That your reaction will tell me the next thing to do, because I am doing a feasibility already of this particular idea. Let me see the chat. Please type in fast. I know that network is going to delay some people's response, but type in fast so that once I see it, I can say the next thing. Hey. For those of you that didn't get the question, I'll repeat it again. I say, what do you want to eat with? My machine that I'm designing that can feed you gives you convenience. You don't need to touch food. You just wash. You don't need to keep washing your hands. Just sit at your dining and then it feeds you. Or you prefer using cutlery to eat or your hands to eat. So on the chat, what do you type for me? I want the machine. Or you type, I like my hand. Those are just the two things I need you to type which one you prefer there, right? Okay. So you type it on the chat for me. I'm waiting, I'm looking at it. Not the WhatsApp chat, please. Type on the Zoom chat. I can easily see it at the moment. Oh, good. Oh, no response. Do you want to use the machine or you prefer your hands? What do you want? Let's know. I'm not getting any response on the chat now. Okay, maybe it's network. I'll just proceed with the class. I'll proceed with the class, depending when I get. But like if you look at the last paragraph where we're saying identifying potential problems, some of the problems that we could identify with that particular machine is this. what if this machine, right? What if this machine needs to be powered by, needs to be powered? What if when there is no power, what do you do? These are problems. So maybe you are asking me now to go back and design the machine so that I can use battery, or the machine, I go back and ensure that it's placed where there's power. Okay, what about problems or how do we clean this machine? How do we disinfect this machine? Or issues like how many people can use this machine? These are issues. And once you cannot answer them, then it won't work. But once you can answer them, then you can answer the last question, whether we should proceed. Yeah, no. Hey, I have a response now on the chat. Oh, Christy Paul says she wants to use her cutlery. She doesn't want any machine. You don't want my machine? Oh, too bad for me. All right, only one response. Let's see if I get two more responses. I'll know whether I should continue with the design or forget it. Because if she won't use my Christy Paul, a guy or a lady? Okay, I think it's a lady. Okay, if she won't use my cutlery, if she won't use my machine, then it of course means that I can't. Oh, somebody saying hand with cutlery. Okay, the person can use hand or cutlery, fine. Seems nobody wants to use my machine. Right now that I have people saying they don't need my machine, why should I proceed with that idea? That's essentially feasibility study. That's what feasibility study is. So it's not late for you to go back to your business now and do an analysis of it and see whether it's going to work. If you want to farm, are you going to farm some maybe exotic fruits that people hardly buy, or you're going to farm something, or you're going into manufacturing of something? What do you want to manufacture? Is this something people will buy, or something people can afford? You have to do that analysis. Okay, thank you. Let's look at the next slide. What are we saying in the next slide? The next slide is saying that we want to know what a feasible business is. Why are we talking about this? We're talking about this to know when, when your business has reached a level where you can say, okay, this is a feasible business, let's manage it, let's run with it. You need to check a couple of criteria. We'll put about 4 criteria for you to check. If your business check yes for item 1, check yes for item 2, check yes for item 3 and 4, then we say that business is feasible. Let it roll. But if it fails all of this, then I don't think your business is feasible or may not live long. Okay, let's look at the criteria again. What's the first criteria here? The first criteria is saying, can it generate adequate cash flow and profit? 2. Maybe I should, why am I saying 2 now? Maybe I should have written, can it generate cash flow? 1. Can it generate adequate profit? 2. I don't know why I combine it. Okay, I do know. I'm going to give you the reason why I combined it. Okay, the next point here, we say what? Can it withstand the risk it will encounter? Please look at that statement carefully. We are saying will withstand the risk it will encounter, meaning that once you're in business, you will witness risk. Okay, maybe I should take this time to tell you what risk is. Risk is all about probability and an occurrence of, and the probability of the occurrence of an event. So everything, if you put it in the other slide, everything is risk. There are probability that something will happen. So is this probability that we're looking at, is it probably going to go negative, the probably going to go positive, or is it probably going to allow us to remain where we are, or something bad is going to happen? So if businesses must face risk, live in all live events, there are other risk of certain occurrence. So what we're asking here is that a feasible business will be able to withstand any risk it will encounter. I don't know, will it remain viable in the long term? Long term is a relative term, right? It's a relative thing. Long term for some businesses could be, can it stay for the next 5 years? That business is just short-lived, and then you want to know whether I can stay 5 years. But some will go almost to infinity, almost forever. Like businesses that relates to anything that you're doing with COVID, right? With COVID-19, I want to consider it as something that will be it would not take a long time. So the long term for it is the life of the time that it takes to get the vaccine or get the pandemic cleared. So if you start any business and then it's not going to stand the long term, then it's not going to be a feasible business. For example, when they started selling face masks, face masks were going as high as 1,000 naira. That was not going to be viable. Why would I pay 1,000 naira for something that I'm going to keep using and then throw off or wash up or things like that? So, but And when it got the right price, you can see that it's sustainable. It's going to last throughout the time that COVID might be around. Okay. Then the last point, will it meet the goal of the founder? That's it. So you that started this business, what is your goal? What did you plan? What do you have in mind? What's the purpose of creating this business? Will it meet that? Then if it checks yes, 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 yes for all these four, then we say the business is a viable business. So now I've told you what a feasibility study is. I also mentioned what a feasible business is, which is what we said we'll talk about under topic 1 in this section. But however, I'd like to bring out something. What's the difference between cash flow and profit? Why don't I say only profit? Why don't I say cash flow? What's the difference? Write it in the chat. Let me see. I'm going to the chat now to look at it. Please, right? You know, I like. I want people to participate. I want to keep it like a discussion section. You write, I look at it, and then we comment on it, and then we just go and until the time is up, and we all live here until we see some other day. All right. Or we need for some other transaction. Okay, so what's the difference between cash flow and profit? So tell me, go to the chart, right? Cash flow is this, and then you write again, profit is this. Okay, while I'm waiting for you to write that, right? While I'm waiting for you to write what cash flow, what profit is, let me tell you a story, right? I'm going to look out for two people. I'm going to look out for two people now, and then I'll tell you a short story. Let me see on the list of participants. How many people do we have here? Let me see if I can get their name. I have Christy Paul. I have Huawei is not somebody's name. I have Hembafan. Yeah, I have Mrs. Umahani. I have Sati Milton. I don't know who to use now. Let me start with Hembafan. All right, Hembafan and Christy Paul. Two of them, they decide to sell orange. You know what they did? They got to the market, picked orange, and the orange was going for 10 naira for one. So this orange 10 naira for one, and they bought 10 each. That's 10 times and that's 100, right? So both of them, Christy Paul spent 100 naira on the oranges, and then Hembafan also spent 100 naira on orange. And then they got to the market to sell this orange, right? And Christy Paul was selling her orange for 100 naira. Sold her orange for 100 naira. So, and she sold all of it. So that's what 100 times 10. That's 100. That's 1,000. All right. So what Christy Paul's profit? Christy Paul's profit is if you take the 1,000 that she made, you take away the 100 that she spent. That's 900, right? Okay. How about Hembafan? Hembafan sold all hers as well in the market, but she sold hers for 200 naira each. So how much did she come home with, or what is she entitled to? Christy Paul is entitled to 200 times 10. That's 2,000. Okay, when you take the 100 from there, she's made a profit of 1,009, right? But there's something I didn't tell you about Hembafan. Hembafan sold all her oranges on credit. Sold all her oranges on credit. Whereas Christy Paul sold all hers for cash. So two of them have two different models. Because Hembafan wants to, you're taking your time to pay Hembafan. That's why she's charging you 200 naira. So that's a business model. Whereas Christy Paul say only pay me cash now. Give me 100 naira and go with your orange. That's a different model. So you can see that one of them made more profit, whereas the other one made more cash, right? So that's the difference between cash flow and profit. But let me know, which one would you prefer? Do you prefer Christy Paul's model, or you prefer Hembafan's model? Let me hear it. I'm going to look at your chat now. Oh, yeah, somebody spoke on the chat. Let's see. Okay, Christy Paul even answered me. She said, profit is the gain you gain over expenses, while cash flow is the flow of cash in and out. Excellent. Brilliant. Okay, so let's hear your model now. Would you prefer Christy Paul's model, or you prefer Hembafan's model? Which model do you want? Let me hear from you guys. Nobody is talking to me on the chat. Hey, let me peep at the WhatsApp. I said talk to me on Zoom. Let me peep at the WhatsApp and see if someone is talking to us there. I'll be back shortly. I'm just trying to peep. Okay, no one. He's talking to me here on the link. Oh, yes, I prefer Christy Paul's model. Oh, that's even coming from Hemperfan. Hemperfan prefers Christy Paul's model instead of her own model. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let me get another answer and see if somebody prefers another person's model. Let's see if I can get another answer, and then I proceed to tell you some things you need to note about feasibility study. There are some things you need to know. Let's go to the things you need to note while we wait for responses from here. What are some of the things that you should note when you're dealing with feasibility study? Let's see. Okay, one things to note. The first thing is that anybody with a business idea, you get me? Anyone with a business idea, including you, including your friends, including anybody that comes to you to consult, to ask questions, or anybody that, after a while, people are going to start asking you questions. How did you do it? Why is your business thriving and all of that? Once they come with an idea, what's the first thing you should do? The first thing you should do, please ask the person to conduct a feasibility study. That's a point one here. You can see it dot in yellow. And what's the purpose? Just to determine whether the business is viable before asking the person to proceed with developing the whole business. So that's the first thing you note. Then the second thing that I would like you to notice, feasibility study usually addresses things like where and then how will the business operate. Like if I want to farm, where should I farm? Should I farm in the city center like central area? Or I should go to somewhere like Kwali, or I'll go to somewhere like Suleja to farm. Where should my business operate? And then another one is, how should my business operate? The feasibility study is going to help me with that because you're going to do some study to see, is it better here or is better in this other place? And then like how in terms of, you might want to say, okay, should I use online? Should I go internet and then sell my product online? Or I should open a shop and sell my product? It all depends. There are people that prefer to buy online, or there are people that know how to buy online. They anything they want to buy, they go online. But whereas some people are used to walking into the market shop to shop. So if you are going to target the people that like walking shop to shop, then your business will face that kind of operation, meaning that your feasibility study should address those things to help you know what to do. Number two. So, oh, this is the third one. Okay, they provide in-depth details about the business, right? To determine if and how it can succeed. When you go into the feasibility study, it's almost like a detailed study. You'll be checking, can this work? Can this happen? What should I do when this is, if this is this? Okay, you keep noting all of those things. All those things you are noting, is the purpose is to help what business to succeed. Another point, it's a very valuable tool in developing your business plan. Like I gave you the analogy concerning you see a piece of land and then you go back and then get your architectural plan for that build for that location. You see, if the land, if the topography is undulating, it's not straight, the architect will know what to do. And so when you do a feasibility study, when you're designing your business plan, it's going to be more detailed. It's going to be a winning one. It's not the one that somebody is dreaming by and writing. And then feasibility study can be used in many ways, but we have said it's primarily for your business venture. I see someone talk to me. Someone talked to me now on the chat. Let me see. Okay, what did the person say? Oh yes. Oh, did I see? Okay, yeah. Hammerfan is still commenting on why she prefers Christy Paul's model. She said because it encourages inflow of money and continuity of the business, meaning that the inflow, the money that flows in, helps the business to continue. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, now that's it about the things to note, and then what feasible business is, and as well as what feasibility study is. So let's go to topic 2 quickly. Topic 2 is what? We say topic 2, we want to know what's the objective of doing a feasibility study in the first place. And then the second one, we want to know what are the common shortcomings that we have noticed, and then give us the importance. And we're done with this topic. All right. Feasibility study objectives. 1. Oh, that's obvious. Raising of funds. You can see it on the screen. It's to help us raise funds. So that's the first thing, just to help us raise our funds, right? If you need funds, you must do what? Feasibility study. Most people anybody that will give you money will also ask you to do a feasibility. That's so clear. Number two, the second item there is it helps us, one of the objectives is to determine the optimum facility mix to maximize revenue. All these words. Sometimes people play with words and you struggle with what to say. But why did I choose to play with words here? Because I know that I'm going to give you my slides, and then you could give my slide to someone else, and the person wouldn't understand simpler terms. The person will prefer terms that capture the meaning as it is. You see, I'm using a word like optimum, right? Optimum, and then what's facility? Facility helps me to say the whole of your business, the things that you have on ground for your business. So this feasibility study, one of the objectives is to determine an optimum facility mix, right? You get the facility mix that will help you raise the highest revenue. Okay, let me show you. You go to a village, and then the village is close to an urban center, right? And then people in the village, they use bike to go to the urban center to do their business. And then during your feasibility study, you decide to study and realize that in that particular village, people live at a space of 1 hour, and then 10 people live per day. Right. So what facility do you need? You need bikes. So because 10 people live that village, what do? Are you going to get 10 bikes? Yes. That's almost supposed to be yes, so that each person to a bike. But when we say optimum, that is what's the appropriate mix. You realize that it's better for you to get. Why do I say you should get just 2 bikes? Get the first bike because it's going to take the person from that place to the nearby village and return within 1 hour, because until the next hour you won't get any other person. That's what your feasibility study suggests. So it's better for you to get just 2 bikes. In case the first bike delays, what do? The second bike will pick whoever is available. And then by the time you're expecting the third person to go, either the second or the first bike would have returned to attend to that person. So you just need 2 bikes, not 10 bikes, to maximize the same revenue, meaning that 2 bikes will eventually pick 10 people, and not that you should go get 10 bikes to pick 10 people. That's all we're saying. Your feasibility study helps you to arrange that. But what I've said sounds a little more simpler than what happens in business. All right, another point is to ensure that everybody agrees to it. Who are these people that need to agree to it? If you are already an existing, you need your partners to agree to it. You need your family members to agree to it. You need your friends to agree to it. You even need people that have already given you loans before to agree to that particular business. That's essentially that point, one of the objectives. Then another one is a initial market plan, market, right? And project planning. So what we're saying here is that it forms the basis for your initial market. What's market? Don't tell me it's place that this and that. No. That's not the definition I'm looking for. For as long as we're concerned today and during this discussion, what we're saying, whenever we say market, we're referring to the people that will buy your goods. Anybody that buy, people that will buy your goods is your market. So we're saying that feasibility study helps you to form this initial, you have a basis for the initial market, meaning that you have a basis for the initial number of people that will buy your things from you. And so once you know the initial people that will buy your things, maybe when you launch your company, you are going to sell like 100 first month, the second month 200, the third month 300, and then so forth. It helps you to plan. You will have to go and get equipment that can produce a minimum of 200 and all of that. That's one of the things that's the objective. And then on the contrary note, and interestingly for me too, because I need to let you know that yes, we use even though we use a feasibility study uh, for one purpose or the other, there's another thing that we use it for. And we say in some cases, it provides the argument for business closure. Whereas most of the feasibility study is used for opening a business, in some cases, it's to help us close the business. Why so? Because sometimes you could currently close a business and later realize, you come back there 3 years, 4 years later and see that someone else has opened that kind of similar business and the person is thriving. it automatically means you shouldn't have closed that business. You should have stayed on, or you should have done something about the business. So we are saying here that one of the objectives of feasibility study is that it will help you, give you an argument whether you should close this business. So anytime you are contemplating closing any business, remember what we say in this class. We say go and do a feasibility study for that, so that you have an argument, so that you can close the particular business. That's the objective. What are the shortcomings that we notice? We notice some shortcomings. Shortcomings from feasibility studies that some people have done, some feasibility study report that some people have packaged. And you know, when you have issues with your feasibility study, it's going to show even in your business plan. So we have observed some of them. And then the first one is a couple of times people overestimate market potential. What is market? I said market in this class is the people that will buy from you. So what happens? A number of people will overestimate the number of people that will buy from them. Each time you do that, it's going to be a shortcoming. You're making the result we're going to get in practice. All right. How do you overestimate market potential? It's very easy. You can just assume that, oh, like some people say Abuja has about 5 to 6 million people. All right. So I'm going to sell my item to about 5 million people. So everyone is going to buy from you. You have overestimated the market potential. Number two, underestimated competition. Yes, it's similar to the first one, right? You say in Abuja, we have about 5 million people and they are going to buy my stock. Maybe sachet water you want to go into or any other item. You say they are going to buy your item. I think you have underestimated competition. How do I know? Are you the only one going to produce this sachet water? What makes you think that you are the only person producing that item? And remember, once you start producing one item and people start buying that item, others are going to start producing the same item also. The only thing that will stop them from producing is if there is lots of barrier to entry into that particular business. Otherwise, you're sure that other people are going to come in, or you're sure that you are going to meet other people in that same business. All right, that takes us to the other point, which is similar to the first point. We say plant capacity not compatible with the market size. What does that mean? Market size, assuming your market size is 100,000 people are going to buy something from you, and you go and put up a capacity for 50,000. You've not done yourself anything. It's 100 people are going to buy. Then why do you put capacity for 50,000? So each time people will be coming to your shop and then you'll be saying you're out of stock, you don't have, come tomorrow. That's one error we see. Another error that's even common is that your market, the people that are going to buy from you will be like 100,000. And then you go to the market, you want to buy equipment, you go to Lagos, go to make calls to China that they should bring you machine, and you are buying machine that has a capacity for 1 million. 1 million when you can only sell to 100,000, what's that? It's not compatible. Okay, then there's this other point, underestimated importance of management. This one is common. Sometimes people start business, they say, I'm going to be the manager. You have the skill in that area. Nobody is saying you should not be manager of your business. Nobody is saying you should not run your business. But if you are going into a business that requires other skills, particularly if your business is expanding and increasing, it's time for you to bring in those that are knowledgeable in that area, those that have skills in that area. Then the last 2 points, we say market projection is based on insufficient data, like you don't get enough data, you don't go read a lot of things, or you're using outdated data when you're doing feasibility study based on from search engines and from people. You ask people questions, maybe people that are not longer in touch with your business. So that can really alter your market projection, because it's going to be based on data that is not sufficient or inadequate or stale. And then the last one is sometimes we make this mistake easily, overestimated availability of infrastructure. How do we overestimate infrastructure? Very easy. Sometimes you say, okay, I want to go and farm, and then you go and get a piece of land, 100, let's say 20 hectares. And where you are getting these 20 hectares, you've not considered other things like there are roads to that place. What about the stream to that place? Can you, when you are done, can you bring out your items? Can you move tractors there? When you are getting a land, you may have overestimated. You may have assumed that there is road to that place. So those are some shortcomings that we notice with feasibility studies. Yeah, what's the importance? Why is feasibility study important? Okay, we have 4 points here. The information you gather and present in your feasibility study will help you, one, to list in details all the things that will make that business work. Anytime you do a feasibility study, if somebody is reading from you or hearing you, the person will even know that you have really looked at things yourself. And another point here, we say it will help you identify logistical and other business related problems and solutions. What did I say? What did I just wrap so fast? I'm saying it helps us to identify logistical issues. What could be the logistical issues? Those of us going into farming, by the time you cultivate or you harvest from like 20 hectares and you have several bags of grains or something, where are you going to keep them? You take them straight to the market from the farm. That would be a wise decision. You're going to tamper with the price. People think, what if you take them to the market and nobody's buying that day? You start moving them back to the market. That would be right. Or you go and store them and you don't make adequate protection against pests and all those things. And then all these pests, they come and eat weevils, your grains. So during the feasibility study, you will look for ways of protecting your items. Like you will consider buying those bags that suffocate weevils, so that you put your grains there, and then they are not going to be eaten by these pests. Right. Another one is that from your feasibility, it's very easy for you to develop a marketing strategy. What's the right price? What is the right promotion I should use? Where should I go? What should my product even look like? How should I even package it? Should I package it big, package it small, and all those things to help you develop those marketing strategies. And the last item, why it's so important for you to do feasibility study, is that it's the solid foundation for you to develop your business plan. Without a feasibility study, you're going to use your head to develop a business plan. And when you use your head to develop business plan, it's very, very likely that you will not capture certain things. You're going to miss out. So you can see that's why feasibility study is quite important, and that's why we encourage people to do. So that's the end of topic 2, which is importance, shortcomings, and objective of feasibility. Let's go to the advice I said I have for you. How do you go about feasibility study? That's the advice I said I have. How to go about the feasibility study. All right, there are 3 things here when you do your feasibility study, before you begin writing it, right? I need you to identify who are you going to sell your things to? Where are you going to sell your things? And how are you going to sell your things? Are you going to put them in a truck and drive around like the Hawk ice cream? Or you are going to the internet and do a lot? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Whom are you going to sell? Whom is important here, because if you are making baby products, are you going to sell the things to babies, or you're selling them to who? Are you selling it to? When you're designing your marketing strategy for baby products, you should be targeted at the parents. Those are the people that pay. You might think your customers are truly the babies. No, your customers are the people paying for the product. So you should look at them from the angle. Like if you start a crèche, or you start a nursery school, or a primary school, whatever, you might think erroneously that your customers are the children. No, your customers are the people paying. Okay, so how do you intend to go about this product you are bringing and the service? That's what we need to hear from you. Another one, we need you to assess your competition, right? You need to assess the competition. That's very key. Um, there are things about the competition that you need to find out. Uh, like, are they better? Do they have more equipment? Are they more knowledgeable? You have to assess those people. If you don't assess them, you go to the field, you'll be messed up, because the field is almost like a war place. I tell you, yeah, it's almost like a war place. Nobody cares about another. There's no emotion there. It's not It's not a few that you have only women there that can say, oh no, be teaching. No. You have a whole lot of men that say, oh no, take it all. Okay, then another one is that you should also figure out how much money you need to start your business, right? This one is a little easier for people to do, to know how much to start the business. Because they can say, okay, I want to buy this equipment. I also want to hire this hall. And then they think that that's what you need for the business. But there is another funding that you need for the business, which is the amount you need to keep it running until the business is established. For example, you are going to into fish, you want to sell fish, you want to breed fish and sell them. And some people will say, okay, buy the fish, get the pond, and then that's it. No, you're not done yet. You also need to pay security. You need to keep paying security until you can sell this fish. You need to also keep buying the fish. You also need to call in a vet doctor from time to time to look at your fish to know whether they are okay or anything. So these things are part of how much you need for the business. It's until you sell the business, sell the fish, your harvest, and then money start coming in. And then you cannot think that, okay, you cannot decide what to do with that money. It's at that time that we say the business is established. Otherwise, before then, it's all part of startup money. Okay, so that's how you go about feasibility study. I think I can go to the next thing, but something I want you to note. Take a look at it, the next slide. Just, I want you to note this. Pre-feasibility study. I've been advising you to go and do a feasibility study, then turn it into a feasibility study report, and then look at it, do something with it. And then if anybody that wants to fund you is requesting for it, you present it to the person, isn't it? But if you are going into business, sometimes I will ask you, go and do a pre-feasibility study. We said before proceeding with a full-blown feasibility study, you may want to do some pre-feasibility analysis of your own. Why? So that if you find out earlier on that the proposed business idea is not feasible, it will save you time, money, so many things. Like when I want to make machines that can feed people, what did I get from all of you? You say you want to use your hands, you want to use your coloring. So if everybody is going to use their hands and their coloring, why am I going ahead with this? The feasibility is done already. So that pre-feasibility study helped me to save me what time and also money. Another thing about feasibility studies is the feasibility study may be conducted first to help sort out relevant scenarios. What we're saying is you could have scenarios like what if there's no light? What do you do if you're making that machine that I have aborted? Or what if you need to clean it? What if 10 people will buy from you? Or what if 20 people will buy from you? You consider all of these scenarios that you have capacity to handle this. If people come, do you have parking space and all of that? So if what we're saying now, you can see the highlight in yellow here, we say, if the finding leads you to proceed with a feasibility study, you have resolved certain basic issues, meaning that when you're doing the feasibility study, you recall those issues. And the third issue here is that go ahead, you're free. Go ahead to get a consultant. The consultant can help you with a pre-feasibility study, right? But if you are using a consultant to help you with your pre-feasibility study, we also advise that go ahead and work with him so that you would have gotten most of the nitty-gritties of that business, right? It will be an opportunity for you to even know some of the issues that that business has. So that's it about pre-feasibility study. So here, what have I advised you? I've given you advice on how to go about a feasibility study before you start writing it, what you should do. Before you do the study, and after you do the study, and before you start writing it, penning it down into a feasibility study report. I've told you that in the previous slide. And then here, I've also mentioned the need for pre-feasibility study. These ones usually help us to forget about doing a feasibility study, full feasibility study, particularly when we notice, have an issue that this idea is not, it's a crazy one, it's not going to work. There are a whole lot of crazy ideas out there, so we also need to check. All right, thank you very much. What's the next thing? I think that's it for topic 3 in this session. So let's go to the last topic in this session. Last topic in this session is where I'm asking if you have a feasibility study to do, or if you have done a feasibility study report, what are the things that we should see on it? what are the things that I expect at minimum. There could be so many things you can put there. You could even put other things there, but let me find these things. Let me have these things in your feasibility study report. Right. I think I want to see these 6 items there. One, description of the business. That is the first one, right? The product or service to be offered and how they will be offered. You let us know. If you are going into selling of orange, let us know that your business is about orange. If you are going into business of making face masks, let us know. If you are going into farming of only yam, let us know. That's what we want to find out. So that's what we want to find out about what your area is. Then we also need you to talk about the market feasibility. What are you telling us under the market feasibility? Under the market feasibility, you will do market feasibility for us. You will also do technical feasibility for us. You also do financial feasibility for us. You do organizational feasibility for us. And then you also do the conclusion of the item for us, right? And so that's what we want you to do. Okay. Um, all right. Let me quickly explain them in details. I've explained the first one, right? But let me explain this, the 4 in between, right? Before I do that, maybe I should just mention the last one, the conclusion, so that I'll just take my time with the 4 in the middle. For conclusion, right, what you need to do there is you discuss how the business can succeed, right? Try to convince whoever is going to sponsor us. Try to convince whoever is bringing money into this business. But in trying to convince somebody, you should be very honest. Don't try to give scenarios that will make it look rosy, whereas it's not. Because the people you are giving it to are usually investors. Some of them have even tried this business before. You wouldn't even know. But it's good for you to be honest, because they won't just pick hook, line, sinker, whatever you write. They are going to review it. Sometimes they will even give it to their PA, whoever, to take a careful look at it to see whether they are making sense. Okay. All right. So let's go to the 4 items. One of the things that we'll see there, want to see your market feasibility. Why are we writing all this for you? We're writing them because some of you may not have done a feasibility study on your work, or some of you have done a feasibility study but not properly done. We are saying, okay, feel free to go back again and do them in this slide. So if you are going back to do some of this feasibility study, not the one you did on your bed, what do you do? You could pick up your questionnaire, design them in such a way that it will target market feasibility, to target technical issue, to target financial issue, and it will also target organizational issues. That's my advice for you on how to go about this. So you will, for market, you will ask certain questions. You can write them down. If he has to do with questions, you ask people, you write the questions down so that you don't forget when you're in the field, or you turn it into something like a questionnaire. You'll be taking it as they are coming, they'll be answering you, right? Or there are things that you need to observe. That is, apart from interview, there are some observations that you do. So you systematically write them down. The things that you want to observe. So when you get there, observe what time the market opens. You can write that. Observe what time the market closes. Those are observations. You can note them down. How many trailers of item got into this market today, yes, tomorrow, next, and for the whole week? You write them and then average it out. That's what you can do, right? With your questionnaire or with your observation sheet when you are going to the field. So you do that for questions related to market feasibility. You do that for questions related to technical feasibility. You do that for questions related to financial feasibility as well as organizational feasibility. So under market feasibility, what we have, give us a description of the industry. What's the industry? Industry is the number of people producing similar items. Give us a description of that industry, like the agri industry, the health industry, the financial industry, anyone. Talk about the current market. Market still remains number of people that buy from you, right? So what's the number of people that buy from you? Talk about anticipated future markets. How many people buy from you in future? Talk about competition. I keep repeating this over and over. When you are done with this, before we go into sales projection, which is how many people will buy from you, then how many people will likely buy from you later, right? You look at all of that. All of these items that you're talking about comes under your market feasibility. You see, some of these things that we're saying you should do, they'll give you an insight into what marketing strategy to do and what the market is. The other thing is technical feasibility. You need to look at the technical side, right? Which includes how do you intend to deliver this product to people? What are the type of people you need that have special skills for this particular item you intended doing? What's the technology that you need? Technology is the how, the know-how. So not just whenever I say technology, don't assume that I'm talking about ICT, right? So what technology do you think that you should bring in, right? So you talk about the materials, the labor, the transportation, and then where you are going to locate this business. You know, sometimes location actually affects some business. If it's not properly located, money won't come out. Okay. Another point, financial feasibility. Right, financial feasibility, that one has to do with just money, all about money. And the first thing is how much money do you need? I think we talked about that, right? Then where will this money come from? For us here, we know that it's going to come from NISA microfinance, right? But when the business gets so big, where is it going to come from? You need to think of that. Is it going to come from friends? Is it going to come from commercial bank? Is it going to come from partners? You need to look at that. And when money is coming from some places, a very important question will come up. How much are you going to return on this money? Call it return on investment. So how much will the business return because you have started it? We need to know all of that. And when will the business start returning? You need to do some analysis. Some of them, I don't know if you've discussed it in one of our trainings, which included net present value, payback period. That's the simplest one, the payback period. That's when will the business be able to pay back the capital that you have put into it. We have other ones like IRR, and we have other ones like those ones. Don't stress yourself on it. Just concentrate on when do you think that this business will be able to pay back what it has done, and then take cognizance of things like taxes, inflation that you need to pay over time. All right, the last thing here, you say you define the legal and corporate structure of the business. That is, what organizational structure are you going to put on ground? And then for legal, I won't talk about it because someone is going to talk about legal structures soon. I think on Friday or Thursday or tomorrow. I can call when the person will come up. So he's going to elaborate more on that. So you need to know that. And then after the corporate structure, we'll talk about the professional background, the people that you're going to need in this particular business. So we talk about that. There's another thing again about this organizational feasibility that you need to carefully look at. I think I explained it I explained it in some slides later. Let me quickly run through this other slides and we can conclude this session. All right, for markets. Under market, there are things that I want you to figure out. I think that there are things that I would like you to figure out. Yes, what's the target population? When I say target population is what you want to sell, who is going to buy from you, right? Then when you know that if everybody can buy your item, like things like food, right? You don't sell your items to everybody. You want to face one group of people. Would you want to sell your things to men or you want to sell your things to ladies? That's gender. Would you want to sell your things to the poor or you want to sell your things to the rich? Let me not use the word poor, rich. You want to sell your things to the high income or the low income, right? Then you can even look at it from age. You want to sell your things to people very young babies, or you want to sell your things to people that are quite advanced in age. Because there are things that people advanced in age will need, and there are things that babies will need. These things differ. So when you have segmented the market into what you want, you look out for the strategy to reach these people. You know, if you are reaching very young people these days, I heard that the easiest way to reach them is through social media, right? Whereas if you are reaching people that are 70, 80 years, I don't think they're very strong with their social media, meaning that wouldn't be an avenue that you can easily reach them. It won't be a good strategy. And then, like, I will keep repeating over and over, do a competitors analysis over and over. How many competitors are there? What's their strength? What's the strength of this company? What's their weakness? What opportunities do they have, and what challenges are they facing? Look at carefully at the weaknesses and the challenges. Maybe that's where you can come in and then make so much money or do what they cannot do. Technical analysis, like we mentioned, talk about the location, equipment that you need, where are you going to get your raw material from, who are going to be your suppliers and all of that. Mention them in terms of, try to bring them down in terms of units. Because when you bring them down in units and then their invoice cost, it will help us to do the next one, which is financial analysis. At this time, at the financial analysis stage, you can get the total cost, project investment cost, by bringing in cost of the plant equipment that we need, the raw materials that we need for say 2 months, the salaries that we have to pay for 3 months or thereabout before the business stabilizes, all other pre-operational expenses to bring them in. Then when we go to the sales area, you can look at it from once you know that you'll be able to sell total number, then you can arrive at the price for it. You can use several things to arrive at the price, maybe the market price that everybody is selling that item, or the price that you can arrive at after production. Then you multiply by the number of units, you get your annual sales. That's for financial. Then, like I told you, it's something I was mentioning under organizational feasibility. You need to do some organizational analysis. It involves questions such as whether the system has enough support to be implemented successfully. What we're saying is, does your company has enough support for you to implement the new business successfully? Will it bring excessive change, particularly for those already in existence? Or is your organization changing too rapidly for you? You need to look at some of those things. So once you are done with all of this, you can now do a comprehensive feasibility report, and it should pass. This feasibility report will provide ingredients for your business plan, and we are good to go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have, I don't know your name. I can't see your name, Galaxy 8. We have Johnson Sakoma in class. He's here to discuss, to hear our discussion too. We have Christy Paul, we have Mrs. Mohammed, we have Yohase Hembado, right? Hembafan, sorry. Okay, I'm getting that right. All the other guys, I don't know your name because I have Infinite Note 7, Infinite Note 7, and then Huawei Y5. Oh, I don't know your name, but I want to thank all of you for participating at this first section. So we are going to ask, I'm going to ask you a few questions and then see if you can give me answer, and we'll go on in 5 minutes break before I take the last session. Thank you for listening to this particular session. All right, so what we do is still the same thing. Go to the chat on the Zoom, write number 1 for me, right? Write number 1, then give me this answer. Should every business have a feasibility plan? So write yes or write no. And write number 2. What is the relevance or importance of feasibility plan? What is the importance of feasibility plan? So you write it for me. Then number 3, from this lesson, from this discussion so far, which aspect of this feasibility plan can you prepare? Which one can you prepare? If you can prepare all, fine. If you say none, or you say 2 of them, then let me also know which aspect you think you cannot, you need the help of others. That's what you write on number 3, number 4. Right, so do that during this break while I wait, and I'll go to the chat and see what your responses are, and then the next 3 minutes or thereabout, we should start the next section. Okay, thank you. I'm back again. Let me look at your responses. Here are your responses. Okay, most of them. Okay. I now know the name of person using Galaxy Exit. All right. So most of your answer to number one is yes, 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 yes. Number two, number two. Okay, I didn't get that. Number three, description of the business. Okay, somebody say you can do the description very well. Number two, it gives you an orientation of what business you are. Okay, that's the importance of feasibility study. Great. Okay, and then we have one, yes, two, one business description. Okay, fine. Thank you for your response. That means I have you participating in the class. All right, so we can go to the next section now because of time. Let's take section two. Section two is business plan. All right, very interesting. I'm getting very interesting reports here. Good. This is good. This is good. All right, let me go ahead with the second section, right? That's business plan. Okay, thank you for your participation. This section, we have 7 items here to discuss. I just have basically 7 items to discuss, and then I'll try not to take your time so that we can quickly go back to our business for this, our other businesses for the day, or we can go ahead and start preparing for the loan that is coming, right? Okay, thank you. In this section, we have 7 items to discuss. The first one is executive summary, two, business description, mission, and statement. Then we will look at what's a business concept, what's your strategy, what are your value proposition. Number four, we look at your market summary and your competition. Number five, competitive advantage, SWOT, and then risk. Then we'll look at your resource planning and then the team that you can use, and then financial projection or financial plan. We want to talk about briefly. And if you look at this outline carefully, you will begin to notice that some of the points that were mentioned in the business plan there were items that appears or something that we have discussed under the feasibility study. That's why if you link them carefully, you'll now realize that your feasibility study tends to give you a winning business plan. So once you have done a good feasibility study, it becomes easy for you to do your business plan, right? Okay, so let's go to the first one. I want to see how early we leave you. I don't keep you beyond 12. Um, don't keep you beyond 12. So let me see in the next 40 or how many minutes I should be out there. Did I hear someone say stop talking and stop telling us you want to leave here? Just continue. Don't waste time. It's a joke. All right. Okay, the first one is your executive summary. Your executive summary. For executive summary is just a summary of the whole business plan. Don't ask me why are you talking about summary when I've not written it. Yes, that's a good question. Good in the sense that you don't write the executive summary before you begin the whole write-up. You do the executive summary after you have written your business plan. It is a summary of your business plan. That's the first thing you just know. Summarize the business plan that you have done. That's the executive summary. Right? How should it look like? Your executive summary should be 1 page. That's my opinion. Some people will allow you to do 3 pages, right? But I say do just 1 page. That's enough. Some people say do 2, do 3, but my recommendation is just do 1. 3, make it catchy. The man you are giving to is an executive. You need to catch his attention. If something is not looking fine, you do not catch his attention. So make that page very catchy and put everything that needs to be put there. That will give you a winning chance over the next man that just wrote sentences on it and refused to make it catchy. You get me? Okay. Then when should you write this executive summary? Like I want to repeat that you write it at the end of the whole project, the whole business plan. Don't start your work with that. Where should you place it? Place it on top, right? After the title page, which says business plan for dash business, right? The next page should be executive summary. Some people say no. They want table of content first. Go ahead, you can put table of content, then go to executive summary. But like I said, make it catchy. That's why you see some people put after title, immediately you flip it. The next thing you are seeing is executive summary. Or you go into table of content that will explain every other item. All right. First thing in the business plan, which under introduction is the business description. Describe this business. You described the product or service, the item under the feasibility study. Then you were not describing the business. But this time around, you are giving us a business description. You will describe what you want to do, the strategy you are coming up with. I mean, not strategy at this time. I meant a full description of the business, right? Including location, where's the business going to stay, including those that are going to pioneer this business, the promoter, the owner, and then how is it registered? Is it registered business? Is it registered with CAC? All of that, we need to see them here. Okay, then we will need you to mention the mission of this business or the goal of this business or the general objective of this business or the broad objective of this business. One of the ways that I can help you do that is by mentioning the mission statement. So what's the mission statement? The mission statement states the purpose of the business or states the reason for the business existence. You can go ahead and write about the purpose, the broad objective, and then you will now go ahead and write the mission. You can write the mission, you write the vision, you write core value, you write the objective of the business, and all of that in this particular section. But when you are writing your mission statement, we say, look at the screen, we say, clearly state your company's long-term mission. Then we also say, try to use words that will help the growth of your company. Coin your words in such a way that it suggests that you'll be growing. Or be as concise as much as possible. Be as concise as much as possible. That's what we advise you to do. All right. Okay. And then I mentioned a vision, right? Vision is your desired future optimal state. That's what we need you to put out. Put your desired future optimal state for us. We want to see what it should look like in the nearest future. What should your business look like in the nearest future? Put that for us. Okay. And then some people go ahead and put their core value. All those things they are putting is to try to project the business in the best light it should be. All right, let's go to business concept or strategy, right? And then I'll mention what value proposition is. When you say business concept, let me give you an example of concept. Concept, the traditional business that we have before is what? Is for you to buy taxis, hire drivers, and then they look for passengers and then come back in the evening and remit money to you. But now that's one model. That is traditional model we have. But these days, what is the model that's in vogue? The model that is in vogue is for you to bring for you not to the business that is vogue now is that you don't even buy taxis, you don't even buy hire drivers. What you do is that you create opportunity for people to get customers. And then that's what the model you see people doing with Taxify, Uber, and all those things. So what is your own business concept? That's what we want to see. Give us your business concept, give us your strategy, how you intend to go about it. Then give us your value proposition. Value proposition, like proposing to a lady. When you are doing a value proposition, you are telling the lady, or when you are proposing marriage to a lady, you are telling her why you are better than the other suitors. You give the reasons. So in business, give the customers those reasons. What are the common reasons that you should give? Let us know how efficient you are. Let us know whether you are offering better quality. Let's know whether you have more better speed. Let us know whether you're able to source your materials from places that are cheaper, meaning that you have less cost to bear, right? Meaning the price is also going to drop. Those are some of the things that we need to find out from you, or the things that you need to give us in form of a value proposition. All right, then market summary. Like I told you earlier about market summary, um, market in terms of review the changes in the market, talk about changes in the market share. You know what market share is, right? Market is the number of people that will buy from you. So market share is your share of the people that will buy from you, meaning the other people that are buying from the other people at their own share. Then who is the leader? The when you talk about leadership and then in the market is, for example, the market is made up of 100,000 people that can buy, and then somebody is selling to 50,000, and then the rest of it, about 20 are selling to the remaining 50,000. The leader is what? Is the leader is a man selling to the other 50,000, right? So who is the leader? And then market can be shifting at times, shifting in the sense that today this man is selling to 20,000, tomorrow he's selling to only 5,000. All of that story, that's what we need you to write for us in this section about the competition, right? Okay, I think I'm having, all right, just give me, I need you to give me a maximum of say 4 minutes or 3 minutes. Let me quickly plug this laptop. Where I'm sitting now is far from the electric point. So let me try to plug it, and I'll don't just go away. I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, gentlemen, I still have issues connecting to my laptop. I don't know why. I'm trying to get the internet back. I'm happy the internet is on the phone, so we can still be talking. Unfortunately, it's difficult to share my screen from the phone so that you can see the slide that I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to try again to see if the internet will connect to the laptop so that I can join, I can continue with my presentation. But if it keeps failing, I may have to just discuss with you off without the slide. So I'm going to, while I'm looking at the slides, I can just keep discussing so that I can finish up within time as well. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yes. Okay, we can share this screen from here. Next slide, please. Take the next slide. All right, this was what we were discussing earlier on, right? We were on summary, market summary, do market summary, do market competition. Okay, can we go to the slide that I need? We were on the slide that I need earlier. Yes, this is where we were. Oh, sorry, you didn't hear me. All right, thank you. Okay, we can go to the next slide after that. This slide is about what? About our competitive advantage. It is very, very crucial. I sometimes, if you don't pick anything at all, I'll be very happy if you can actually pick the lessons that we need to teach under competitive advantage. So what's competitive advantage? Or competitive advantage is essentially the things that you can do that others cannot do. What do you have that your competitors don't have? What do you have that others cannot replicate? The key things that you can have that somebody can replicate includes your unique resources, right? Maybe you have a way of sourcing some materials that others can't source those materials. Another one could be you have some core competence that others don't have. Maybe you have staff or somebody that has good customer service. He remembers people's faces. He can easily tell them anything. When you combine this unique resource and your core competence, you most likely going to come up with a competitive advantage. But the catch there is that some people can easily replicate this. But where people can replicate it, it becomes a sustainable competitive advantage. Why is it so important to me? Because that's about your trade secret. That's about what keeps you moving ahead. When we ask you to write it in your business plan, we're not saying expose your trade secret completely. You need to show that you already have a trade secret. Sometimes you only need to establish it. You only need to tell us when it's something that has been patented, right? You can say, okay, you have this patented already. That's already a competitive advantage. It takes another person to go ahead and design entirely new, something new, something different before they can get it patented before the person can become a good competitor. Now, having seen the importance of competitive advantage, somebody asked me in one of my discussions and say, okay, how do we get this competitive advantage? There are two ways. One, you think hard, read wide, and come up with an idea. Or just imitate any excellent competitive advantage you find around. Try to replicate it. It's a business.
There's nothing saying that you can't replicate it. There's nothing in not teaching your staff how to remember customers very well or what to tell them. So that's essentially it. Please, next slide. That's SWOT. All right, SWOT stands for S. SWOT is S for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunities, and then T for threat. We want to see these things in your business plan. Want to see your strength, want to see your weaknesses. Strength and weakness relate to your internal environment, the things that you have on ground. It could be your location, that's your strength. Your location could even be on the other side, it could be a weakness too, right? So want to see all of those things, list them. How do you do SWOT? You write strength, list them. You write weaknesses, you list them. Don't do anything, it's just a list I want to see, because from that list, we'll know what to do about it. Then talk about your external environment. That's things that you cannot control, things that are outside your company, things that are outside your business. That's the opportunity and then the threat. Like the funny thing is that foreign exchange can be an opportunity for some people, it can be a threat for some people. Threat for those people that are importing things, machines and all of that, because exchange rate is so high, you need so much naira to buy a piece of equipment. It could be opportunity for others, those into farming, if they need to export their things, they're going to get more naira by the time they export their products. So that's what we need you to list. So you write opportunities, you list them, you write threats, you also list them. All right, next slide is, we'll talk about risk, right? I mentioned earlier something about risk, right? I mentioned something about risk before, and that's, let me see, okay, good. Risk, like I said earlier, is probability that something will happen. Since I've explained what risk is, what I need you to do here is to identify the risk that your business will face. Then profile this risk. What is profiling? Write the probability that this event will occur and then multiply it by what is the impact. What we're saying is that probably that the factory can get burned is maybe 0 point something something, right? 0 point something something. So then we can also do, we can also multiply by the cost of the factory. That is if it gets burned. So if the factory is 1 million naira, you multiply it by 0.001. That's the probably, that's what you're going to lose. So that's what we need you to put. Then you can also make it a little catchy by putting some red flags around it. Maybe the ones that can occur easily, the ones that are pressing, you can mark them red. The ones that are not too pressing, you mark them yellow. The ones that are, you know, they are easy on you, you can mark those ones green. And then another thing I need you to do is, how do you intend to mitigate it? Write it, that this and this are the things we're going to do. For things that has to do with your factory getting burnt, what do? You put insurance. So how you intend to mitigate those things, you write them. We want to see all those things in your business plan. It means that you have adequately taken care of what you plan to do. All right, I need to go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Resource planning. Okay, good. Resource planning. Okay, that's the next slide. Resource plan is that essentially want you to put a plan of the things you want to do. In terms of the technology, how do you want to deploy your technology? Put plan of how you want to spend your money. Put plan on how you want to distribute your goods. Put plan on how you want to start the factory, right? Layout plan, all those things. That's what we have you put here. Then next slide, please. The next slide, we need you to talk about the team you are bringing in, all your heroes, the people you are going to use for this job. So what we need you to do? First, write out the organizational plan. Put the organizational chart, or what we refer to as organogram, where you have the CEO, you have who is reporting to the CEO. If you just want yourself CEO and then every other person reporting to you, fine. If you want a detailed one, just put that there. Then leave that section, go to the next line or the next section, write the name of the people that you intend to bring and their designation. When you write their designation, want to also see in another column their previous accomplishment. That's important to us. Then the next column is their years of experience. That's why business keeps saying, we want to employ so people, the person must have so number of years. Now is your turn. Before we're criticizing those businesses, right? That they don't want to employ us. Where are we going to get experience from? Now is your turn. You just can't go and get somebody that doesn't have experience. That's why you keep doing those adverts you were seeing. All right, so you need somebody that is experienced in your business, because you can't throw your business into the hands of someone that is not experienced. Then the last one is their qualification. You can see that the qualification is not as important as their experience and what they have accomplished before. So you can now put their qualification there so that we see how you're taking your business direction. Now we have the last thing to do, and which is what? The financial projection. The financial projection outlines a high-level financial plan that defines your financial model and pricing assumptions. The keyword there is your assumptions, right? We want to talk about your assumptions. What are the assumptions that you are going to make? Be the assumptions because we are talking about the future. If you say, okay, you want to rent a place, what's the assumption? The assumption would include, I'll be paying 500,000 for rent. I'll be paying 100,000 for the space I'm going to rent. We want to see that assumption because you have not rented the place. It's still an assumption, because when you are ready to rent the place, the price will go down, the price will go up. That's why it's an assumption. I want to see them. You are going to put assumptions as to what your selling price will pay, assumptions, all those assumptions want to sit down. Then you go into the plan proper. The most important part of the plan is your cash flow projection. Your cash flow projection. And it has about 3 layouts. So let's look at the layouts now, right? We'll look at the 3 layouts. It's almost something that you can liken into, let me get a container and show you. All right, something that we can liken into this container, right? If it has an outlet here, right, and then you keep pouring water here, the water you keep pouring here, right, is what? The inflow, cash inflow. I'm going to show you that's layout 1. Then layout 2 is if you have an opening here and the water is going out, that's cash outflow, right? That's layout 2. Then the third layout, which is layout 3, is the balance. What amount of water will collect here? You know, it's a function of whether you plug here or whether this hole is small, or whether what is flowing in is big, and all of that. So those are just the 3 illustrations we'll do. And then essentially that's what you need for your financial projection. That's a key thing that you need for your financial projection. This key thing that you need for your financial projection, right? You can use Excel, for those of you that are very good with Excel, right? But if you know you are not good with Excel, that doesn't stop you from doing this financial projection. What you just need to do for me is that you can put it on, you can put this thing on, you can write them with pencil on paper, divide them into various columns. But if you don't, if you're already good in Excel, just go to Excel. Let's show you the slide. Please, next slide to the first layout. Next slide to the first layout. Okay, are we there now? Let me see. Next slide, next slide. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, you see layout 1. All right, so the layout 1 is divided into columns, right? The first column, right? Yes, this is it. The first column, you're going to write the description of the things that we're going to have as inflow, right? Your inflow could be the sales, the loan that you are going to get, the loan you're going to get. I hear someone said she can't hear what I'm saying. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you guys also hear what I'm saying? I can't be talking. I don't want to be talking and no one is hearing. I want to make sure my mic is not muted. Please talk to me on the chat. Do you guys hear me so that we'll know whether the challenge is coming from her end or from my end, please? All right, so just chat me. I'm going to see. Okay. Most people can hear me. So please, baby Chooks, baby. Okay, I can't get your name right now. Quickly check your system, try to see whether your speaker is okay or something else. All right, so you can see you have all this column. You list out all your inflow. What are your possible inflow? Your inflow is going to come from sales. Your inflow is going to come from your inflow is going to come from sales. Your inflow is going to come from loans. Yeah, you're going to get loans. And your inflow is also going to come from those that are owing you. Don't forget, sometimes you sell on credit. So All those, any form of inflow that you're going to get, that's what we need you to write it. Then when is this inflow going to come? Tell us, break them into periods, either monthly, weekly, or that's about there. Most people break them into monthly. So in January, what are you going to get as your inflow? What's going to come as loan? If the loan is going to come in February, then that's in February that you're going to record it. Then for all the sales that you're going to do in January, we need you to record it. Then the total side under there, you add them up to give us the total inflow for that period. All right, go down to layout 2. Let's quickly explain layout 2, and then we'll go to layout 3. Okay, are we there now? Yes, we're on layout 2 now, right? Layout 2 is the outflow. Here you deal with all the outflow. What are the possible? It follows the same format with layout 1, but what you do here is you list out the things that mean you pay money out, including purchase of raw material, purchase of your equipment, wages, and all of that, right? Please go back again. Just stay on, just stay where I've populated layout 1 and layout 2. Are you there? Layout 1 and layout 2. Okay. Okay, this is layout. This is layout 2, right? Okay, there's a place that has figures, right? Are you there now? Just go down. Yes, this place. All right, you can see now we have figures. We have added figures to it to show what we have been doing before. And you can see the total income there is 1,600, and then total expenditure is what? 1,200. Okay, so we're going to go to the last layout now, right? The layout 3 from my illustration, so that you get a good picture of it. Okay, go down now to the last layout, layout 3. Just go to layout 3. Okay, great. This is layout 3. Layout 3, please. Yeah, thank you. This is layout 3. Layout 3 is where you check whatever you have in the balance. How do you check whatever you have in the balance, right? First, you start with what did you come to the business with? Did you have any opening balance? Some of you don't have, 0. Some of you have, write that figure there. Then total income from the other population for layouts that were populated. Total income was 1.6. And then we also have total expenditure 1.2. So 1.6, you spent 1.2, you have what? 400. So where are we getting 700 from? 700 is 400 plus the 300 you used to start the business with. And so the following period, which is February, you begin that period with the 700. Are you getting me? That's it. So it's as simple as that. But things can get funny when, for example, you don't have any opening balance, and then your total income is say 1,000. So you can't spend 1,000 too. So what you do, you spend just 1,000 and then move the 200 to the other period. You know, you are projecting, you want to see what will happen. So for that particular period, you got 1,000 and then you spent 1,000, and then your closing balance will be 0 because you didn't even start the business with anything. What if you started the business with something? That 300 is what you now carry to the next period. Okay. The other things that I won't advise you, or that will give you an indication that your business is not going to be fine, is where your total income is very small. Maybe you keep having 600, 600, 600, and then your total expenditure is showing 2,000, 2,000, and it never changes. Then that business is not going to go good. But there are businesses that will be good, that will definitely go good, depending on their nature. Some business you could have total income 0, 0, 0, 0, until a particular period you have one big income. Are you getting me? Maybe you are into farming or fish, or you know, you only be spending until that particular period. So you can use your loan and then be spending it monthly until that other large inflow will come. But if your business is not taking that particular shape, right, then you know that something is completely wrong with the whole idea, the whole business, and it's not feasible. At this time, we will advise you to go and review your business or look for another business entirely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, very, 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 very sorry about, I'm very sorry about the transmission that broke and took our time. I want to really, really appreciate all the people that have participated. Some people, I can't see their name, T591, I don't know. Iyo Hashe, Hembafan, Paul Christie, Mrs. Mohammed, I didn't hear her say anything. Jide Akinshola, you didn't tell me anything. Johnson Sakoma, you didn't also tell me anything, but I want to assume that you all participated and you found this class reasonable. Satin Milton, I didn't hear anything from you. Mubarak Mohammed, yes, you finally were able to join the class. I hope you were able to pick something. What we intend to do now is that this particular presentation, it will be on YouTube. You won't be able to ask any question on the YouTube. And after this presentation, I'm going to put this slide on the WhatsApp chat for you to go through it again. So this time around, if you have any question to ask, you can. We are going to unmute we'll ask the technical team to unmute everyone so that people can ask any question they have. And where you don't have any question, we're going to throw in the quiz after the session. So you answer the quiz and then we close. I think that's fine. Thank you for listening. So we will mute now to hear everyone who has a question or comment. Baby Chooks, do you have a question?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
This is Jide Akinshola speaking.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry I joined the class late, but I have a question from the part I joined, speaking about the business plan. In your opinion, how frequently should one review a business plan? I know you want to do a business plan and there are projections. And when you start a business, do you plan that? Is that something that you want to follow sacrosanct, or you with nature of business? Yeah, I mean, with your experience, regarding experience of planning to execution, what timeline would you give for, let's say, review of a business plan? Because we are talking about projections. When the projections become actuals, so generally in your own experience, how frequently would it be required to be reviewed when they become actuals and you can plug in your figures as actual figures?
All right, it depends on how large the business is, right? If it's just a one-man show, what we refer to as one-man show, where you have very few guys around as your management team, I don't see any reason why you should not even review it every week. And if you want to be highly proactive, at the end of the day, if you already have a business plan, projection on ground, right? And then it's broken down into monthly or weekly or daily. If it's broken down into monthly, you might want to wait till the month end to do your review, right? But if it's broken down into weekly, you want to do it weekly. But for some of us, if the business is not so big, if we say sales projection for this particular month will be 1,000, and then in the first week you only sold 50, we only have how many days left? How am I going to sell all that? You begin your review immediately. But this is done when your business is already on ground. But for this particular time that you're sourcing loan, right, and you're doing your business plan, somebody wants to see what you intend to do with this money. How do you intend to turn this money into something lucrative, right? So it is this same business plan. Once it's approved, we expect that it's what you will use in your business to review it. Even when it has nothing to do with loan, right? You are also expected to still do business plan. It's just going to help you. It's going to be like a budget that will help you in managing your business. So once you are going out of what you have budgeted, you go back and check what's happening. Why am I going out of my budget? And then you correct or you address whatever the issue is. Maybe you're not doing good marketing. Maybe your product is not as good as you planned it to be. All of those things, then you go back and quickly address it. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but my simple answer is you don't waste any time at all. If you have a projection, immediately you have figures for a particular period as short as 1 week, start addressing it.
Okay, you answered my question. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other question from any other person? Any other comment from any other person?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am Mubarak. I joined this since Monday, and all the questions they have been asking, I've not been participating until today. So I want to know if I am left out or if there could
Is this
be
Mubarak?
Yeah, this is Mubarak.
All right, welcome. Mubarak, you still have two more opportunities. One is for you to go back to our channel on YouTube, right? And listen to everything. Like what the question you are asking today will be on YouTube as well, right? By the end of today's section, so that you can hear other questions that others have asked, and then you can key into those questions. So the YouTube is still there for you to hear the lecture that took place yesterday and the one that took place Monday. Apart from the YouTube, on the WhatsApp chat, I don't know when you were added to the WhatsApp, right? If you were added
Monday,
from the...
I was added on Monday. No.
Okay, if you go, you are going to see some slide, like the slide, the presentation slide for today. We are going to still put it on that WhatsApp group chat, right? So you can just flip through and then look at it. Some people prefer the YouTube thing where they just want to listen.
The one of Monday and yesterday is not there.
It's not on YouTube yet. Okay,
WhatsApp.
Okay, it's not okay. We will ask the technical guys to upload it again, to post it back there again.
Okay.
So that you can see it.
So also one of the questions also disturbing me here is this. You see, due to my area of concentration academic-wise, I am not an art student initially in my life, and these questions are regarding to business, commerce, and art related questions. So which score will be very, very okay for me to score that can qualify me to be eligible for the loan? Or is there any score that can be too bad for me to be disqualified? Please, I want to know.
To answer whether there will be a score that will be too bad, let me get very funny there. This particular course is very difficult to fail. Why? Because before we start, we'll give you a pre-lecture quiz, right? That you attempt. Once you attempt it, some of us will expect you to score very low, like 10%, 5%, or whatever. We expect you to score very low. And the training plan is designed in such a way that once you have failed those ones, right? Because we expect you to fail them, meaning that it's not your area. Maybe you are into the science, you read physics, chemistry, or you're an engineer. It's not your area. So once you fail those things, once it is mentioned during the discussion, you will immediately, it will draw your attention to those things, and you can easily pick it and then maybe ask questions at the end. So when we put the lecture quiz again, that like the one we're going to put one for this particular presentation. I doubt if you started from beginning to the end, I doubt there's no way you will score less than 50, sir.
Okay.
So let's try it first. By the time we try it, we're going to see it. Provided you listen to most part of this section, it's very, very difficult for you to score 50.
I came in about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes ago.
Okay, less than 30 minutes. The other way, before you try the quiz, right? When we post the slide, when we post the slide, you can go through the slide, or you can choose to listen to the YouTube first, right? And then before you do the test, if you listen to the YouTube first, right? The probability, I want to bet with you that you will score not less than 80.
Okay. I will do that. But can will there be another opportunity for me to take the questions that I didn't take initially from Monday and Tuesday?
No, the question you didn't take initially is not as important as the one that you're going to take now.
Okay.
The one you didn't take is to prepare you for the class. The one you are going to take now is to know whether you were able to listen to the things that we mentioned in the class.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, gentlemen, ladies, or I should first recognize the ladies. Do you have any question for us or any comment? I think Mubarak is satisfied, and I'm sure I'm going to get not less than 80 from Mubarak. Something tells me he's going to do all I've said, and if he does it, he's surely going to post a minimum of 80, and we're going to give him a round of applause if he gives us 100. Okay, if we don't have any question, I will attempt not to waste anybody's time again. I might prepare to close the class and do all that I promised to do, which include putting up the presentation slide. All right. gentlemen, I truly appreciate the active participation in this class. All right, Manasseh, can you put up the question now? Put it in the chat and then put it in the WhatsApp so that people can try from any of the medium. Yes, Hembafan, your business must be registered with CAC before they can give them loan. No loan is given to individuals. Have I answered you, Hembafan? Okay, maybe she wants me to answer by chat. Did I answer you?
You did. But okay, so when I registered, I asked the same question and they said, no, I don't need that, because I was really specific with that question. And they said, because mine was still, I'm currently running like the process. I wanted to do it together with the federal government, the 2,500 free registration, but I had that was closed. So I wanted to start processing personally, and they said I wouldn't need that. That what I just need is the business plan, and yeah, just to fill the form and the business plan. But I don't know how true that is, and that's what I'm asking again.
Most of the loans we've not been, to the best of my knowledge, I'm going to confirm with my superior again, loans are not given to individuals. Loans are given to organizations. That's why we encourage you to run it like a company. That's why this is an entrepreneurship development institute where we encourage you to do the right thing. Because if you run it like an individual, right, when it gets very big, you won't be able to cope with. How do you pay your taxes? How do you assess some of the things that government is
right? My business has been running. It's just that some issues. I didn't get that. Please say that again.
I said, how do you intend to do things like tax? How do you intend to? There are a whole lot that you cannot assess, that you will not be able to assess as an individual. You can only assess them as an organization. Like if you recall, recently they gave a survivor fund, right? The survivor funds were given to staff of companies and not to individuals, right? They were given to the staff of companies.
Sorry, I don't network for yours, but hello?
Yeah, I can hear. I know network could be funny, but I can hear you. I'm only encouraging you that you should register your business. You should continue with your process, right? By the time you are done with that process, I think you will be fully prepared to apply for this particular loan. And I'm also wondering why it's taking so much time for you to get your business registered. You said you have started the process. I don't know why it's taking time. And if it's taking time, the person that is going to take us on business registration, business compliance, and all those things, right? On that day, try to remember to put this question to him. I can see your face. You're showing me that you can't hear me. I think either I'm breaking or the internet is not fair or something.
Okay, no, it's because one thing is because I got to know that this loan scheme is not something that's going to end anytime soon. And I was asking, like I asked the consultant or whoever I met at the office if I would need to have my business registered first before starting with all these. And he said, no. Just pay, and then business plan, they'll develop that, and that's why I'm getting pissed off now.
No, you don't have to get your business registered before you come for the training. The training is for individual, right? But the loan will be given to your business as a registered business. So if you come to me, I'll still say, no, go ahead with your training. The training and the registration of the business can run concurrently.
Okay, don't worry. I think I'll contact them for clarification.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll see you in the office again. Okay. Any other observation? Any other thing somebody wants to raise? If you don't have any, we will close the day and free up everybody to go for their business. Let me see. All right. So we have put the question there now on the WhatsApp, on the Zoom chat. So you can try the question now, except for Mubarak that is going to try it much later. So you can go ahead and try your question now, and then press submit. We'll see the scores here.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I am also confused about the same question regarding to this registration of company, because I think I was told the same thing this lady is complaining about as well. So I don't know, because from my own forms I'm filling here, I don't have a registered firm already, but I am hoping to register. And I was told the same thing this lady was complaining about.
Yes, so what you were told is okay. If the training is for individuals, right? Yeah. You need the training as an individual, but by the time you are assessing the loan, they will want you to have an existing business. But like I told her, I am going to also confirm from, I'm going to confirm again from Niger Microfinance Bank, and then we'll get to you on the WhatsApp chat. Based on the information available now, I'll get the clarification and then we'll post it on the WhatsApp chat for you guys.
Okay. But also, do you have a personnel that can oversee for the registration of any interested members like us? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can, that you will. Oh, sorry. Christy, just a moment. Christy asked a question at the chat. The answer is yes. We have someone to address your business plan. I'm trying to see somebody else's chat. Okay, coming back to Mubarak, I will appreciate if you take the question on the day we're going to do business compliance. I think that should be tomorrow or Friday. I'm not too sure. I'm not seeing it. I'm not looking at the timetable now. So put up the question there. The man coming is a lawyer, is a barrister, and most of those registrations are done by barristers. So once you put up the question, he should be able to agree to do it for you. Okay, you get me, Mubarak? Yeah. So don't forget to ask your question on the day for the business plan and business compliance and registration.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Christy Paul asked me a question. I don't know if I've answered. Let me see if I've answered, because I'm using the phone now. I'm finding it difficult to chat at the same time. Let's see if I can chat now. Chats, okay, chats are coming up now. Okay, in writing a business plan, what about making projection for inflation, cost of working capital? Yes, that's a good question, Sati and Milton. I didn't go into those issues, right? But those issues, they come under the risk, right? Inflation is trying to tell you that this is what you are getting, this is what you are expecting, this is the deviation. Yes, you need to bring up that. What we give here is the minimum content that we expect from your business plan. So if you include the projection, inflation issues, well, that will be very fine. That will really appeal to whoever is reading your business plan. All right, the next one is, when I registered for the training, I was informed that the trainer will write out the business plan for us and it will be sent to our email for print. Please, is this true? Yes, that is true. Then Johnson Sakoma, you say your network is not friendly. Okay, sorry about that. If there's anything, some of these things you can still see it on the WhatsApp chat, right? On the YouTube. Okay. Let me see. All right, we've posted the pre-quiz. I hope you are able to answer that. So Hembafan asked a question. Okay, yes, I've answered that. The rest, they said they can hear me. That was during my class. Okay, great. All right. I think I'm good to go now. We've passed our time. But for the sake of those that still have questions, feel free to ask a question. We'll answer you. And if you can't ask any question, if you remember any question you want to ask much later, put it on the WhatsApp chat. We'll answer you from the WhatsApp chat, because the WhatsApp chat will be an interactive medium throughout this period. Christopher, give us some time. Your business plan will be out. Business plans are not written. They are not like something I can quickly write under 2 minutes, right? I won't be in charge. I'm not the one in charge of the business plan writing. I'm only going to put you through on it. So I will talk back with our secretariat and let's know the average time it will take our business plan writing team. How long it takes them to conclude on that, if at all you want to use their services. Okay, very good. Okay, I think I am good to go now. Okay, so I'm going to check the chat one more time, if there's any chat for us. Okay, I think I've answered everyone. There's no more chat. Thank you very much for your participation. Once I close my chat, right, the Zoom, I'll be able to use the system to post the WhatsApp. I'll use it to post the presentation for today. I really, really appreciate this class. I am very, very grateful. Thank you and see you anytime soon.